Chapter 35. Light. It all began with one ray of light, but sometimes one is enough. As the villagers watched, that one ray made room for more to slip between the gray clouds. Then the light forced the clouds apart and away entirely. The sun took over the sky. It spread through the square, destroying the shadows and painting everything it touched with a rainbow of color. Sunlight filled every crevice, including the chimney shaft. No longer a weak trickle, the light burst down the shaft to where P's fallen necklace still lay. The beam reflected off the gold locket and shot straight to the center of the rat world. The cat jumped for the mouse, just missing him. One more try, and the little rodent would be his. "Here, kitty, 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 kitty," Botticelli said, hanging Despereaux over the cat. "Here, kitty, kitty, kitty." "Ah!" Botticelli winced as if in pain. "What is that?" Botticelli asked. He squinted at the light seeping through the hole in the wall. Light illuminated the rat village, the bones, the mounds of rotting trash, and the Colosseum floor. The rats shielded their eyes and cowered, except for one. In the light, Roscuro spotted the magnifying glass above the royal box. The rat knew what he had to do. He climbed to the top of the box. He pointed the glass toward the ray of sun and aimed a powerful blast of light towards the cage. Botticelli was blinded. He released Despereaux and covered his eyes. He staggered backward, stepping right off the edge of the cage. "Ah!" Botticelli screamed. There was silence. Despereaux peered down below. Botticelli lay on the Colosseum floor. But that wasn't the worst of it. As the rat lay on the floor, an enormous shadow crept over him. The rat opened his eyes. "Ah! Please! Nice kitty! No, no, no!" The tomcat raised a clawed paw. Botticelli ran for the nearest shelter, the cat cage. The cat followed him in. With one kick, P slammed the cage door shut. The force made the door's latch fall, and it locked. And then it was difficult to tell which was louder, the cat's snarls or the rat's long, tortured howl. From the top of the cage, Despereaux looked down at his princess and smiled, and the princess smiled back. It was over, they thought. But Roscuro was not finished. He swiveled the magnifying glass around, sending beams of light all over the dungeon. Screaming rats scurried into any darkness they could find, disappearing into cracks and holes until the underground village was quiet and flooded with light. Despereaux untied P. She sat up and smiled. "Thank you, my good gentleman," she said. Behind the mouse, someone sniffed. Despereaux and P turned to see the rat, who had stayed behind. Roscuro walked hesitantly up to P, and their eyes met. "I am sorry," said Roscuro. "You have nothing to be sorry about," said the princess. And with her words, the rat's heart softened, just like that. In another part of the dungeon, a father held the daughter he thought he'd lost forever. "I am so, so sorry," Gregory said to Midge, hugging her tight. "You have no idea how sorry I am." And Midgery Sow enjoyed the strange new feeling that lightened her heart. And in his chambers, the king stood at his window, looking down at his subjects, drenched in the sunlight. "I am so sorry," the king said quietly, almost to himself. His people cheered at the sight of him, and his kingdom once again glistened like a tiny jewel against the sea. The king turned, as always, towards the painting of his queen, and he smiled.